everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to a special edition of In the Booth with the Poetess. Today, in honor of Snoop Dogg's birthday, I want to share one of my classic interviews done maybe over a decade ago or early 2000s, where Snoop shares about his early childhood, hustling in the streets, and becoming a big rap star. Here is part one, and tune in next Friday for part two. Enjoy. You are logged on to MorrisMediaLive.com. Welcome to the studio, Snoop.
What up, though? What it do, L.A.?
I wanted to start the interview taking it back to your childhood. Could you talk about some of your fondest memories growing up as a child?
Yeah, some of my fondest memories growing up on the east side of Long Beach would definitely be involved with the church, going to church with my mother, meeting a lot of my homeboys and friends in church, getting involved with football, you know, Pop Warner football, King Conference, playing for the Long Beach Poly Vidars, Long Beach Poly Rough Riders, just being involved in the community with basketball and, you know, selling candy and newspapers and just trying to get my thoughts together on what I wanted to do in life. That was a great memory to me going back to my childhood, seeing the hustle that I had.
Okay, so when did that hustle begin to change? I know that you were young and you mentioned all the activities you were involved, which were pretty much positive activities. When did that begin to change? Because according to your autobiography, you mentioned at 16 you came to a turning point in your life.
Yeah, that was like a crucial point for me because it was the point where money was, you know, becoming a real factor in my life and around me. You know, my homeboys was making, you know, anywhere between $800 to $1,300 a night. And I was making like $80, $90 a week working at Lucky's, and it just didn't add up to me that I was doing the right thing, you know, going to work, you know what I'm saying? And they would stand out in front of my house selling work and getting more money than me, and they didn't really add up. So I decided to dibble and dabble and give it a shot and jump in that game and leave the right side alone. And then once I did involve myself in that, I got involved with gangs and, you know, the shooting and all of the stuff that comes along with it, and it just paved my life in a different manner. And it strayed me away from the church. It strayed me away from my mother. It strayed me away from all of the great upbringings that I had as a kid. It just strayed me away from that. And I started to get my influence from my homeboys rather than a male influence because I never had one at the house. My father wasn't at home with me, so a lot of the upbringing was through my mother. And when I got to the certain age, it was like she can't really teach me how to be a man, so I learned that on the streets the hard way.
So do you think a lot of young black males around that age fall into the same trap?
I mean, it's real easy to do because you're always looking at what's around you. And if you got players around you that's your age, that's out there hustling and doing it and getting it and they're making it look so easy, it's going to be very tempting. No matter how you was brought up or how your mother or father raised you, if it's tempting, you're going to want to try to see what it look like, especially if they tell you don't do it your whole life. Don't do it, don't do it. You want to see what it feels like to do it. So, but it just takes a lot of restraint, a lot of great parenting, and a lot of kids sometimes have to do it on their own in order to see that, you know, it's a tough consequence. Like myself, I was a hard-headed kid. I was always the one that wanted to see, you know, if you jump in the water, there's some sharks in there. Them sharks might bite you. I wanted to see if the sharks was going to bite me.
What did you learn from your experience as a hustler? What were some of the important things that still are with you today?
Well, first of all, as a hustler, I learned not to trust nobody because a lot of my homeboys and associates and friends, we would always find ourselves, you know, riffing or battling or being mad at each other behind money, the same money that we didn't have, and now that we have it, now we can't get along. So it showed me how to really not trust nobody when it's about money. And that's a hard thing to do, but it's a real thing because money is the root of all evil. Like people who have money or people that have money, they don't really concentrate on the point of having money. It's the people that don't have money that want the money, so they'll go through all kind of devilish acts to get it, to any means necessary to get it. Those who have it don't really have that mentality no more, and that's the sad part about it, is that when you hustling, you got to know and understand when you grow as a hustler, your friends are gonna lessen. You're gonna get less friends because your money growing, and if you're not putting them in a position to where they can grow with you, they're going to feel like you owe them something. That's just what money does. It's bred like that.
So do you find a major difference between the music industry game and the hustle game?
I find them all to be the same. You know, I take a little bit of all of my experiences that I grew up with, that I've been through, and I use them, you know, with my, you know, cunning skills of the day, you know, in business. Right now, whatever I do business-wise, I take a little bit of that hood with me in there. I take a little bit of everything that I know into every situation that I go into, because I know I'm going to need a little bit of it one way or the other.
During that time, when you were out there hustling, you were also involved in the gang culture as well, right?
Yeah.
What do you think it is that attracts young people to the gang culture or to be part of a gang?
Well, for me, it gave me a sense of stability. It gave me some love. It gave me, you know, my homies was having money. They was having women. They was driving cars with laces and, you know, Vogues and Danas and, you know, all the stuff that you dreamed of. Your homies was getting it, and it just seemed like if you was to be a part of that, it was easy access for you to get it. It's like they welcomed that into you, and you could get girls, and it just, everything was just fly and flashy to me. And it was, you know, something that I wanted to do because it looked like it's something that I could do. And I know that for some kids nowadays, it's the same situation for them. That's why we identify with each other, because I know the feeling of seeing the infatuation of seeing somebody do it at your age and do it bigger and do it better than you, and you feeling like, wow, if I had a shot, I could do it too. There's not so many opportunities of great jobs or good opportunities in the hood for 17, 18-year-olds, you know, to go out there and make them $1,000 a week and to do something right and feel good about it. But there's opportunity to make $1,000 doing it the other way. And it don't look bad because you're getting respect in the neighborhood while you're doing it.
If there is a solution to the gang issue, what do you think that solution is?
I just think that, you know, we need to educate more. And a lot of people use that word and don't really understand that word. I mean, when I say education, I mean educate the homies on, you know, what their gang is about. You know, when I joined my gang was about making money and hustling. Eastside Long Beach Rolling 20 Crip was about money. That's why I got involved. It was enticing to me to have money, to be a hustler, and to be a gangster. That's what was explained to me by my homeboys. And it just seems like now that the young homies that join gangs don't get no orientation. They don't get no explanation. They just jump in and they just, okay, you on your own. You know, you got to learn how to do this on your own. There's nobody really giving you advice. And when I was, you know, put down in the gang, it was advice from the OG homies. It was direction. It was leaders. It was role models. It wasn't just reckless and go shoot and kill. And as many people you kill, that's how hard you is. It was about earning respect and learning how to be a man, and then how to be a hustler and how to get your own.
Mm. When did you start rapping, and what inspired you to do so?
I was rapping like 81, 82. That's 1981, 82. Sugar Hill Gang, Jimmy Spice, Super Rhymes. I mean, hearing songs like that made me want to rap because I like that style of music. I always liked music like Ring My Bell and Rick James and, you know, the R&B music that had that different twist to it, and George Clinton and all of them. But it just seems that when that rap thing came out, it was like, it's my world, this is me. I felt like I could attach to it, like it was really representing me thoroughly, and I just wanted to be involved with it. You
also credit Warren G for encouraging you and pushing you to keep rapping.
Yeah, Warren G was there like when I was to the point where I was like selling drugs, messing up at home, messing up in school. I didn't really see no future in rap. I wasn't making no money. Only Compton rappers was really getting opportunity, and I wasn't finna say I was from Compton. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like, you know, I felt like any young rapper who feel like he good but he ain't great. And my homie knew that I was great, and he kept pushing and pushing to get me in the game, but I just kept quitting, and he would never let me quit. It would be scenarios where I would throw my raps away. I would take all of my rhymes and just throw them in the trash. And my dog Warren G would go get them the next day and bring them all back to me like, nah, you can't quit, you got to keep rolling. I know it sounds like something out of a movie or something, but it's real. I used to just take all of my raps because I was that frustrated, like, you know, I ain't finna go nowhere with this thing, and just throw them all away after being denied so many times and people telling you, we ain't what you're looking for, maybe next time. You know, you get discouraged and you just feel like, you know, you can't make it. And he believed in me. He always believed in me, never stopped believing in me. And he the reason why I'm here today, because he believed in me when I wanted to quit.
And that was actually my next question. If it wasn't for Warren nagging you, do you think you would have even pursued rap?
No, I probably would have left it alone because it was so easy for me to make money selling dope, and it was you know, it was easy for me just to go around rocking parties and, you know, getting a few girls here and there, you know, driving a nice car here and there. You know what I'm saying? I was content. You know, like right now I'm content. I don't really have to go to clubs and do all of that special Hollywood stuff that all the other entertainers do, because that's the kind of person I am. So back then I was so content to where, you know, if I did make it as a rapper, it's cool. I'm still going to be somebody regardless.
So do you think because of people that were placed in your life, like Warren G, and then you mentioned a few others, do you see this as something like rap being your calling?
I think it is.
Because of the way you were directed.
I think the way I was directed, the way I was led into it, the way I was, you know, handheld into it, and I just feel like rap is what I need to be doing. This is my life. This is me. It's so natural. It's so easy for me. It's like, you know, a lot of people really have to try hard to do this. I mean, I don't have to try hard. I just do it. You know what I'm saying? It just come out. It just happens. And whether it sells or not, I feel good about it. And that's what make people feel good about it. It's not about trying to sell 5 or 6 million records. It's about trying to make yourself feel good and make people feel good while they're listening to you.
Let's get into your first commercial record, which was Deep Cover, right? From the Deep Cover soundtrack, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop. How was that for you doing Deep Cover? And then when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to talk about you and Dr. Dre. But how was it to do this record, Deep Cover?
Deep Cover to me was like, it wasn't going to be big like it was. It was just going to be, you know, people going to get a chance to hear me and see me with Dr. Dre. So hopefully they'll like me, you know, and it'll be a good record. But once we got to doing it and I wrote it and I said it and I said it and I said it and I said it and I listened to it. And I seen Dre get into it and change the beat and put his emphasis into it. And I was like, this motherfucker gonna be big. This is gonna be real big right here. But I didn't really feel like it until it started hitting me, because, you know, you always play the background like, you know, yeah, this is Dre thing. I'm just happy to be here, just happy to have my pen involved with him. And then it happened. It's like Warren G told me one day, he's like, man, everybody and their mama playing Deep Cover. You big. They just called us from the East Coast. They playing it out there. And I was like, yeah, it's big now.
All right, let's get into Deep Cover, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop.
Cause it's 187 on the undercover car.
That was Deep Cover, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg. We got Snoop Dogg in the studio
That's when I was Snoop Doggy Dogg back then.
Oh yeah, you were. You know what? You looked pretty shy in that video. Yeah. I don't think you looked at the camera once in that video. Were you shy?
Yeah, I was shook up. Because what had happened was I didn't even know we was doing the video. They tricked me. It was like we going to do a photo shoot. You know, here go like, I think they gave me like $200. They was like, here go $200, go get you something to wear. We finna go do a photo shoot with you and Dre for this Deep Cover soundtrack. I was like, all right, cool. So I went to the swap meet, bought my little khakis, my little white socks jacket, had my little Long Beach hat on, my Chucks, you know what I'm saying? So I was, you know what I'm saying, ready to do me, you know what I'm talking about? So I come back thinking we finna do the photo shoot. There's cameras and all kind of stuff. They like, yeah, so we need you to act this first scene. Act. Yeah, we need you to act and do this and do that. So I had to act in the beginning. Then they wanted me to, you know, do my thing. But once I got comfortable, it was one particular scene in the video where I got real comfortable and I pulled my heat out. That's when I used to roll with that thing. I pulled him out one time and the director got shook up. You can just see the whole camera just back up. Because he was like, is that a real one? I'm like, yeah, it's a real one.
Okay, we're going to share more stories like that and more. So keep it locked. Coming up, we'll talk with Snoop on how he met Dre and got his career started. Well, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed part 1 of my classic interview with Snoop Doggy Dogg. Be sure to tune in next Friday for part 2. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and remember to follow me at OG Poetess. And keep it locked right here on our YouTube channel, The Morris Media Studios. All right? You guys have a good one. Peace.